Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribing to the Football Terrace as well. Get that bell notification button turned on. I know a lot of you have done it. Thousands of you have done it, but more of you need to make sure you don't miss any of our content. Two interesting topics to bring up today. One of which from the overlap surrounding Manchester United, which we're going to start on. Which, again, I love Paul Scholes, but I don't quite get what he's saying here. And it's going to trigger a lot of you. But there has been an absolutely sinister attack on Arsenal as well, which we're going to get into in this show. And we should all be pushing back against this because it is just purely and simply wrong. But I want to start off with Manchester United here and something Paul Scholes has had to say about Rashford. Let's take a little listen.
Leaving Rashford out on Saturday was...
It was a strange one, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's been up to something.
You think?
Oh, come on, he's
celebrated his good.
He's not scored for such a long time, and all of a sudden he comes and scores 3 goals in 2 games, and he's not playing. He said it was rotation. Come on, do me a favour.
Paul Scholes there, as you hear, stating that Rashford was dropped, in his opinion, for he's been up to something, out drinking, turning up late to training, disagreeing with the manager. He doesn't go into any real specifics around it, but suggests that Marcus Rashford not playing is purely and simply down to another disciplinary issue. And I find it's such a strange thing to push out from Scholesy. Such a strange thing for him to push out because Garnacho was better than Rashford in the game against Barnsley, which people are alluding to, where Rashford scored 2 goals. Why was he dropped? Garnacho was better than him, and he played on the left. Rashford was playing through the middle, where Xerxes is needed, and we evidently saw how much he was needed on Saturday when he came off. Ahmad on the right-hand side has been our best attacking player consistency-wise throughout the course of this season so far. There's no issue with Rashford being on the bench. Plus, we have Europa League tonight. We have another Premier League game at the weekend. Loads of football coming up. Hopefully a long and fruitful season ahead. 50 to 60 plus games. It is absolutely right to rotate. We as Man United fans have complained for years that we don't rotate certain players enough. We burn them out. I think it was a sensible decision. But it's not even being criticised here. Ten Hag was wrong to do it. Yeah, Rashford must have been up to something. Why put that out into the universe? Why even suggest that Rashford has been up to no good when there is no reports of it, no evidence of it, and absolutely no suggestion that anything untoward went on whatsoever? Sometimes I just don't see the point of creating that pylon, especially upon your own football club. Now, there was rumours or stories or leaked footage from him out drinking late on Friday night. Fair enough. But for me, I just think this is a little bit irresponsible to put it out there. I don't think any Man United fan was even thinking this. A lot of us expected Rashford to start, but we totally understood why he didn't. So, yeah, for me, this is proper off-key, in my personal opinion. But I'd love to get your thoughts. I'd love to get your feelings on this in the comments section below. Now, speaking of off-key, and I know I'm going to get called the Arsenal terrorist. I know the ad hominem attacks are going to come out. I know some Arsenal fans will say, keep my club, keep my club out your mouth, Will Smith settings. Pause. I also understand that rivals don't like hearing this, but it has to be called out. It has to be. Just like I'm calling out the Man United story that has just come out here. Just as I called out all the nonsense in the last few days about Chelsea, and more of that to come on Straight Facts this afternoon, so make sure you're tuning in relation to it. But there's an article in The Athletic. There's an article in The Athletic that is stated, and I want to read it to you. Just when a game of football was threatening to break out, the games of shoving returned in the 16th minute when take one of Manchester City's corners was aborted after Thomas Partey followed Havertz's lead by clattering Rodri off the ball, this time with a knee to the upper part of a knee to the upper part of the Spaniard's leg. It all happened while City's Akanji and Arsenal's Timber engaged in a spot of Greco-Roman wrestling a few yards away. A rare moment of double dark arts, and one with serious consequences as Rodri was forced off with an injury. And I have to say, first and foremost, we'll get onto the Rodri bit in a moment. This kind of, I'm going to quote, I think it's Sean Dyche that said this, utter woke nonsense that players being physical with each other has suddenly got to stop. Who are these people? They cannot have ever played football. It's part of the game. And I love a bit of argy-bargy. I love a little bit of to and a fro, a little push and a pull. Everybody likes that sort of thing, first and foremost. So why is it even being criticised? I don't know. Secondly, Thomas Partey did absolutely nothing that led towards Rodri's injury. Now, as I've said on many other streams, I absolutely condemn the Arsenal fans that have been celebrating Rodri's injury, posting his picture as their emojis. Just absolutely bottom of the pile, amoebas with very, very low IQ. Just children, grown men, a lot of them, but children at the essence, horrendous. At the same time, there isn't a City fan on planet Earth that thinks Thomas Partey was to blame. Creating this pylon against Arsenal, and again, not everybody that reads The Athletic consumes social media. They're going to read it and go, oh, I didn't see that in the game, but it must be true. It is an abomination to put this out there. Paul Scholes saying that Rashford must have been up to no good is bad. But for a professional journalist to claim that Thomas Partey that did nothing wrong basically took Rodri out for the rest of the season, injured him with dark arts, is crazy. And this is at the same time. That we are seeing articles and headlines like, are Arsenal cheats? Are Arsenal cheats? For what? What are they doing that's cheating? I actually don't understand it. Now, a number of Arsenal fans and neutrals have called Steve Madley, who is the journalist at The Athletic who put this out, have been questioning him around why he has done it. Why has he put this outright lie out there? Everybody that has challenged him has been blocked on social media. Now, my message is simple. Do not go and abuse this man. Do not go and be nasty. Do not stoop to the levels that he has clearly demonstrated. He has untagged himself from everything involved with this article. And at the time of recording this, the article is still there when I saw it. But this is just horrendous. And when I sit there sometimes and say Arsenal hate is an illness, this is exactly what I'm talking about, where lies are spread, or you get sort of analysis where we saw yesterday, we put out the evidence. Every single club in the Premier League has been praised for its dark arts when they win and when they get good results. Arsenal do it, and suddenly the question's being asked, are they cheats? Are they cheats? They're having articles written that they're injuring players when they're not. This is wrong, and the reason I push back against it, it's because you pander to Arsenal fans. No, that's only said by people that either know I'm right, or maybe you're jealous that I get the... I don't want to use the word attention, but I'll use it because I get the attention and traction with my opinions, and they maybe want it. I don't know. It's one of the two things. You either know what I'm saying is right and hate the truth, or you're just jealous that my opinions and my tweets and my videos get more traction than you get. And that's all I can think of, because I don't understand. None of you can give me a reason as to why I'm wrong about the way Arsenal are being treated. And the reason that I do it, and this never gets mentioned by any of my haters, is because I think it's about setting a precedent. And when it's done to Man United, as you've seen today, I will call it out. But I don't want to be the same hypocrite as these individuals by only calling it out when it's about my club. And to prove I'm not like these match day officials that can't admit when they're wrong, to prove I'm not like these journalists, when I find out I've done something wrong or I've got a bit of information wrong, I will address it. And I'm going to do that now on this video. Okay, so timestamp this, people. KJ, clip this up. When I was reviewing the red card of Declan Rice and I watched and listened to the audio from the VAR, I made a mistake. I thought I heard and saw the VAR telling the referee on the pitch, on the field of play, that you need to protect yourself by giving the second yellow card. It was only yesterday morning when I was reviewing that footage, just because I was doing some research, I realised that it was the assistant referee who said it, who absolutely can get involved with yellow card decisions. Nothing else I've said about the Declan Rice situation has changed. I understand why it was a red card. I think Declan Rice was foolish. I still think that Veltman kicked him. But I understand why the red card was given. But my claims around the inconsistencies remain. However, what I did get wrong, and I'm going to be a man about it and address it, is that the VAR didn't get involved in the yellow card. That is something I misheard. And I saw a number of other people saying it. So I misheard it. Then I saw other people saying it. So I assumed I was right. But I can put my hands up and admit when I've made a mistake. I absolutely can. The problem I find at the moment with the media, the problem I find with a lot of football fans, the problem I find with the PGMOL is that when they make a mistake, instead of saying, do you know what? I got that prediction wrong. Do you know what? We made a mistake there with that decision. Do you know what? I've written this article and I got it wrong. Hands up. I've edited it. Right at the top of the article, I'm going to now edit it and put an apology in there. I'm going to push it hard. I'm going to push out that I've made this mistake. And KJ will be clipping this out and putting it on the Clips channel as well. Trust me. It's all going out. Because it's not I don't know. Maybe my dad just said it to me. Maybe this is toxic masculinity. I don't know. But my dad always said to me, real men, real people can hold their hands up and admit when they get something wrong. And do you know what's really crazy in this social media era? It never damages you if you admit you were wrong. If it's because we're talking about things that in the grand scheme of life can be considered quite trivial. You know, we're not damaging people's lives. We're not here to putting policies in place. You know, we're not politicians. We're not working for the government. We're not dealing with everybody's personal life. We're talking about football. And I made a mistake. So I just want to see more of these pundits do it. I want to see more of these journalists do it. I want to see the PGMOL do it. Because for me personally, this doubling down on your mistakes, it's just horrendous to watch personally. So I'm going to offer my personal apologies for making that mistake. I've addressed it. Everything else I've said about these yellow cards for delaying the restart, I stand by it as of right now. But as I've always said, and I'm a man of my word, if new information comes to light, if new facts are presented, or if I realize I've made a mistake, I'll change my mind, or I'll apologize, or I'll have a new outlook. It's why when I'm on the shows, I always ask people questions. Because if you can give me information that changes my mind, why would I not? Only a silly person, right? Only a silly individual would see facts that completely prove them wrong and double down. Listen, until next time, everyone, take care of yourselves. Goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Remember, Straight Facts is back later today, 3:30, Hussam and Mojenda. Very much looking forward to it. Take care, people. Bye-bye.